Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. ESPN gets it right and wrong with ranking of two young Heat players. It is that time of the year when NBA player rankings are on full display, and ESPN recently just published theirs. The list featured Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, of course, but also included another pair of key players from the Miami Heat. Tyler Herro and Jamie Jaquez Jr. found themselves listed at 76 and 86 overall in the top 100 rankings, respectively. It came as a bit of a surprise to have Jaquez included, as the young player is entering just his second season in the NBA. However, having him in the mix here is justified, as he put together an impressive rookie campaign last season. Jaquez earned first-team All-Rookie honors and even found himself in the Rookie of the Year race. His availability proved to be reliable in the midst of an injury-stricken 2023-24 season for Miami. He appeared in 75 games for the Heat, good for a team high in just his first year. However, Herro's ranking is where it gets a bit more controversial. He is of the team's best players, a former sixth Man of the Year winner and still nowhere near the peak of his young career. As a three-level scorer, there is not much Herro can't do on the offensive end. But with that in mind, why is he ranked so low here? The Herro scrutiny by ESPN is justified. The talented combo guard appeared in a career-low 42 games a season ago, and it is as simple as the best ability is availability. But rankings like this should not be placed mainly by that one facet of the game rather than overall skill level. Herro is a better player than at least a dozen of the names ahead of him on this list. It is unfortunate that his health has gotten in the way of his potential in the eyes of the media. A new season brings a fresh start, and just one healthy Herro campaign could open the eyes of a lot of spectators. He averaged a career-high 20.8 points and 4.5 assists last season. With coach Erik Spoelstra doubling down on Herro's impact as a starter again, he is poised to have another standout season and prove ESPN wrong. The Jaquez brand got off to a strong start last year, and being included in this list over the likes of his own teammate Terry Rozier shows a lot. His polished offensive feel for the game was enough to win over Spoelstra and earn regular rotation minutes right off the bat in 2023-24. With a full offseason of working on his game, a slight jump could be in the works. ESPN hasn't been shy of their Jaquez admiration, as they included him as a top candidate for the Sixth Man of the Year award in an older article. With the Heat's free agent departure of Caleb Martin, it opens up more opportunities for Jaquez. He has already shined in the preseason, finishing with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in just 18 minutes of action in the Heat's recent preseason win against the San Antonio Spurs. Heat All-Stars offensive evolution noticed by two great coaches. Miami Heat All-Star Bam Adebayo is entering his 8th NBA season at center. After recently winning Olympic gold with Team USA, onlookers probably saw something new in his game. In light of Adebayo's growth and evolution since entering the league, his head coach has certainly taken notice. However, Erik Spoelstra is not alone. Another head coach has also noticed Adebayo's growth. During their respective media sessions this week, the two future Hall of Fame coaches were asked about the subject. If there was one element of Adebayo's game we witnessed during Team USA's Olympic run this summer, it was his willingness to take more three-pointers and look for his shot. The three-time All-Star and five-time All-Defensive Team player is already a dominant force on both ends of the floor. However, adding the three-point shot to his basketball repertoire had become a focus of his this summer. In fact, going back to last season's final weeks, we saw him up his three-point attempts. Going into the new NBA campaign, Adebayo seems fully committed to making the three a real-time, real-game weapon. Following Miami's preseason game against the San Antonio Spurs earlier this week, reporters asked Spoelstra what he has noticed in Bam's evolution as an offensive player. "Yeah, it was all of it, the facilitating, being able to draw fouls, that's so key. finding those in the gap plays, cutting behind the defense, going into an open space, yeah, those are big places, momentum-shifting plays. Playing off the ball a little bit, running screens for us, and then, yes, spacing the floor. That's what probably the only thing people notice, you know? I'm seeing all parts of his game continue to grow, and that's needed for our team. Spoelstra is right regarding floor spacing because that is one of Adebayo's strongest elements. Of course, that element has already made him so effective offensively. He's one of the league's best big men who can space the floor and initiate that level of impact in a game. With his three-point shooting having improved, he will only be more dangerous. Adebayo's own coach isn't the only head coach to recognize his growth as an offensive player. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich also chimed in on the subject matter. He was referenced back to when he coached Adebayo in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics to the present. Popovich mirrored Spoelstra's sentiments regarding Bam's offensive growth. Miami Heat trade Jimmy Butler, land former number 1 pick in potential blockbuster trade. It seems the Miami Heat and star Jimmy Butler are not in favor of parting ways, but unfortunate circumstances could leave the two sides with no other solution. If the regular season starts poorly for the Heat, with Butler continuing to deal with injury concerns, it could lead to a blockbuster deal at the trade deadline. One team certain to get in the mix if the 35-year-old becomes available is the Golden State Warriors. Golden State made it abundantly clear they're still looking to compete for a title with superstar Stephen Curry at the helm. Bleacher Report recently proposed a 4-team trade, landing Butler with the Warriors. The full trade details are as follows: Warriors get Jimmy Butler from Heat, Anton Watson from Celtics, Heat get Andrew Wiggins from Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga from Warriors, $14.9 million trade exception, Butler, Pistons get Kevin Looney from Warriors, Gary Payton II from Warriors, Atlanta Hawks 2026 second rounder from Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers 2026 second rounder from Heat, Atlanta Hawks 2028 second rounder from Warriors, $2.5 million from Warriors, $1.5 million from Heat, Celtics get $1.1 million from the Heat. Heat team president Pat Riley may desire greater draft capital if he's willing to part ways with his franchise cornerstone. Moving the 6-time All-Star means the Heat would need a few years to build a championship-worthy roster around All-Star Bam Adebayo. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.